Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the regular scheduled meeting, City of Griffin Board of Commissioners, April 12, 2022. We're going to start off by the pledge being led by Commissioner David Brock, followed by me leading invocation. If you'll please join us.
Please join me in praying to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for allowing us to gather today to do the business of the City of Griffin. Keep our decisions fair and just in the best interest of everyone. Keep us together as a team for the betterment of this great community. One Griffin, in your name, amen. Okay. Moving to the approval of the agenda, do we have a motion to approve?
Make a motion.
Mr. Ford with a motion, Ms. Flowers with a second. All in favor of approving the agenda, please signify with your hand. 5-0. And for the record, Commissioner Tinsley and Commissioner Murray are at training this tonight, so that's why they're not here tonight. First item is to recognize the one and only Vicki Coggins, payroll specialist for the City of Griffin, for her recent retirement on April 1st, 2022. Ms. Coggins has served in the role for 36 plus years.
Wow.
So Human Resources Director Stephanie Woods will address. So
well, it's with happiness and sadness I present this. Vicki has been such a part of the City of Griffin for a long time, 36 plus years. There's a lot to be said of that. And she tells a great story about what brought her to the City of Griffin so many years ago, and it was looking for a lifetime career, which she has done. So we are presenting her with a plaque today, which I'm just going to read. Happy retirement, Vicki Coggins. I call her Sassy, but I wasn't going to put that on the plaque. In recognition and sincere gratitude of a lifetime career of enhancing the trust and credibility of the Human Resources Department by doing your part to create a culture of service to employees demonstrating responsiveness, sensitivity, and uniformity to employee needs. On behalf of former, current, and prospective City of Griffin employees, thank you for your wealth of knowledge, experience, and dedication as our payroll specialist. May your journey be filled with many blessings and cherished moments. You will be missed.
Thank you.
you said you had a 5-minute speech.
I didn't say that.
Oh, my goodness. Ms. Vicki, it has been such a joy having you at the city. I think we were talking that it was 1985.
Yeah.
So I was a junior in high school. So that's real. I mean, this
Don't
is
say
unbelievable.
that.
You've been so wonderful, and your spirit and your smile and just, I mean, inspiration you bring to everyone that whoever you meet. We're sorry we're losing you, but we're so proud for what you've given to us all these years, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Anybody else?
Ms. Coggins, again, I can't wait to come to your retirement party this Friday because I got my dates mixed up. But of course, I want to be there. I had some other things going on.
Okay.
And I don't know if y'all noticed that, but she served as my personal accountant for the city for checks, tax information, anything that I needed. She made those decisions for me. When I thought I knew what I was doing, she was going to step in and show me the right way to do it. So I really appreciate all the years of working with you. I think since, for me, 1994. But it's an honor and a pleasure to have worked with you. Thank you so much for all you did for us here.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you, and best wishes.
Okay.
Item 2 is a presentation of a proclamation declaring April 11, 2022 to be Griffin Lineman Appreciation Day in the month of April 2022 as National and State Lineman Appreciation Month. Electric Director Jennifer Freeman and her team will be here to receive them.
Maybe behind the scenes kind of.
Welcome, everybody.
The best kind.
They say not everybody can be a lineman. Is that true?
That's true.
That's so true. Well, welcome, everybody. So today, a proclamation for Griffin Lineman Appreciation Day. Whereas the city of Griffin and Griffin Power recognize the efforts of linemen in keeping the power on regardless of conditions and protecting public safety. And whereas a lineman is a tradesman who works hard to construct and maintain energy infrastructure, and the profession of a lineman is steeped in personal, family, and professional tradition for these true public servants. And whereas linemen are often first responders during storms and other catastrophic events, working to make the scene safe for other public safety heroes, they work every day in potentially hazardous conditions, often in extreme weather, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, to keep the power flowing to the rest of us. And whereas linemen work in dangerous situations with thousands of volts of electricity, high top power lines away from their own families to construct and maintain the energy infrastructure of this city, this state, and often as a backup to out-of-state locations in need. And whereas linemen put their lives on the line literally every day with little fanfare or recognition from the community regarding the inherent danger of their work. So since April 18, 2012, chosen in memory of Cliff Bosch, who was a celebrated lineman who passed away on April 18, 1992, Georgia Lineman Appreciation Day has been commemorated as a day of honor all those who have unselfishly served on a daily basis. And whereas multiple organizations throughout the state, including Georgia EMC, Electric Cities of Georgia, MEAG, and Georgia Power, are coming together to ensure that linemen of Georgia are recognized for their effective, dedicated service to the citizens of this state. And whereas recognition that the state of Georgia has designated April 11, 2022 as Georgia Lineman Appreciation Day, and the month of April 2022 is National and State Lineman Appreciation Month, and a most fitting and proper that the linemen of Griffin Power be recognized for their effective, steadfast, and dedicated service to all the citizens of the city of Griffin, Georgia. Now therefore be resolved that the City of Griffin Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim April 11, 2022 as Griffin Lineman Appreciation Day, and in April 2022 as Griffin Lineman Appreciation Month in the city of Griffin, Georgia, and urge all citizens to pause and reflect on their contributions and to thank any lineman you see, whether they see them working near your home, at a local restaurant, church, or school event, for their commitment and dedication to keeping the power on for everyone. We do hereby declare that a copy of this proclamation be spread upon the minutes of the board reflecting that I have hereunto set a seal of the city of Griffin to be affixed on this, the 11th day of April, the year of the Lord, 2022. Douglas S. Holberg, Mayor, and Jessica Confer, City Manager. Thank you all for what you do for us.
I don't know, I'm just speaking to a speaker. I just want to thank you guys because y'all do work a thankless job and y'all go out when the conditions are not great and y'all are truly passionate about what you do and it shows every day. So I can't thank you enough. Y'all make my job easier. And I know that y'all are kind of behind the scenes people, but we couldn't do what we do without you guys. And so I just thank you for your dedication, your determination, and just that your passion and love for the city. Thank you, thank you.
Can I get a picture?
She wants
Oh,
a
yes.
quick picture, Jessica.
I know.
Make sure Eric is in the back.
Ask Eric, I can't see you, you got your head down. Come on, man.
His
I
head,
can't see you.
his head is too large to be in the front. Please.
Ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, go. Thank you.
Thank you all. All right, our next item, and these are welcome. It's a presentation of the annual Environmental Stewardship Award to Crystal Evans by the Griffin Environmental Council. Environmental Council member Alexander Hope will be here to make the presentation. We're glad to have you.
Good evening. Thanks for having me. Before I begin, I always forget to say this, and I want not forget this time. But I just wanted to compliment our staff on our board that help us every year, Bryce Martin and Alexa Robinson. I always forget to say that, but I want you guys to know how hard they work and how lost we would be without them. And thanks very much to them. So I wanted to not forget that. The other thing is that the Environmental Council has an event coming up. It's the Reservoir Cleanup. We would love to personally invite all of our council people to be there. It's on April 23rd. It's a Saturday. It's at 9 o'clock. It will go until about noon. And you basically, if you need more information, reach out to me or to Bryce Martin or Alexa Robinson. But we would love to see you guys out there. There's some exciting projects planned out at the reservoir. And a lot of people think it's county property. It's city property. It's all of our drinking water, and we'd love to see you guys out there. But the reason I'm here tonight is to present the Environmental Stewardship Award. This is something that we started a couple of years ago to recognize somebody who had done something more than basically gone the extra mile to demonstrate a commitment to our local environment, no matter what it may be. Tonight, we're excited to award this to Crystal Evans. Is Miss Evans here? I'd like to invite her up if she is here. Every year we take nominations. This nomination actually came to us from staff. Miss Evans had been taking care of the area behind the movie theater in what I think we would all call the Walmart shopping center. That area had a lot of stray dogs in it. And Miss Evans started to befriend these dogs and basically try to get them rehomed. And in the process of doing that, she has been cleaning up litter. She's reported instances of dumping to city staff, and she's been responsible for removing hundreds or thousands of pounds of stuff out of there, but mostly getting these dogs, building a relationship with them so that she is able to take them to the vet, get them rehomed, and basically remove the stray dogs, making the area cleaner, but also safer for everyone that is shopping in that area. So this was the council voted, and it was unanimous that we wanted to award this to Crystal Evans this year.
Thank you so much. If I could just say just a word.
Yes, ma'am, if you didn't use your family as well.
Okay,
Right.
most everybody does not know who I am, but I am everybody calls me the Walmart dog rescuer. Started this journey 16 months ago. We have been able to rescue 31 dogs that are feral and terrified of humans, not aggressive. 22 of those which are puppies, and 9 of those are mother dogs or male dogs. They are all safe and sound, either with fosters. They live in a sanctuary in Ozark. We've adopted them out. We still have 2 remaining there, 2 young ones. And we are going to get them as well. We just kind of have to take a break in between because they won't go into the trap. But I can assure everyone who loves animals and is passionate and about their community, we're doing everything we can to solve the problem and fix it and not have any more future dumping sites for any animals, because they all deserve a home and love. So thank you so much for this. It means a lot to myself and my rescue friends that helped me. So thank everyone.
Would you like to introduce your family?
Yes, my husband Daniel, my son Carter, and my daughter Allie, which my daughter has been on almost every rescue with me, and my son as well. So they are big advocates for animals. So teaching them right.
Walk them in the picture, bring them up.
Okay.
Yeah, we get a picture of you guys.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Step over here.
Okay.
Sorry, I have to leave.
Oh, you're fine. It's fine. There. Okay. Okay. Yes.
And appreciate it.
Yes. Yes, of course, of course. Yep.
Yep.
Thank you for your
Yep.
second, Mr. Griffin.
Thank you so much. Absolutely. But I love the animals, so.
Alexander, thank you so much. And just this past week, just in terms of the Environmental Council, Alexis Robinson was at Atkinson at their STEM day and doing projects and involved. And just, Bryce, what you and your team does to work with this community is just a blessing. And we appreciate what y'all do. Thank you. Okay, review financial reports for February 2022. Chief Financial Officer Marcus Schwab will address. Welcome, sir.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Commissioners. All right, so we're about 67% into the fiscal year. Any questions on the financial statements? Cash, revenues? On a real quick note, we've collected or we've made the budget number that we set for the general fund, so we've collected 100% of our property tax proceeds.
They look really strong, very positive. We got one more month of SPLOST dollars coming in.
Yeah.
And then we start fresh with the T-SPLOST.
Just remember, we do have a bond payment that's due in July.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions of the board?
Good job. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Marcus. Moving into citizens' comments. At this time, the mayor opens the floor for comments from the audience. Comments should relate to a specific agenda item not listed on the agenda for a public hearing or for the concern within jurisdiction of the city commission. City commission meetings serve the purpose of conducting city business, are not a forum for the unlimited expression of opinion. The mayor reserves the right to limit comments to matters germane to city business and may refer speakers to the city manager or other staff for resolution. With that being said, is there anybody on my left like to come forward to the board? Please come forward, Mr. Sullivan. If you can please give your name and address for the record.
Robert Sullins, 1133 Pine Valley Road.
Thank you, sir. Go ahead.
I'm here just to express my disappointment in GeoSam and also the City of Griffin Planning and Development Department for what's the clear cutting that's gone on in the property prior to any plans being submitted, any hydrology studies, any of that being done. I think GeoSam has stumped their toes. I think our City Planning and Development Department has stumped their toes. We all want a quality development next to our properties. This is not the way to start it. I think GeoSam's not from Griffin. Our Director of Planning and Development's not from Griffin. Y'all are from Griffin. And I think y'all need to protect the property owners in the surrounding area. We all agreed on a 50-foot buffer that they would put in an HOA. They've gone in and clear cut in many places that buffer already. To me, that violates, maybe not legally violates their law, but the spirit of our agreement has been violated. And so I hope y'all keep very close eyes on this. I've been trying to stay in touch with Chad, keep up with the latest developments. I was never told that they had gotten a timber permit. I know they didn't get an LDP, and maybe they weren't required to get an LDP, though many other counties and municipalities require an LDP if you're gonna clear cut 100 acres. But I've got the creek in my backyard. I'm worried about the flooding. I got the sewer in my backyard. It's overflowed 2 more times since I talked to y'all in July. And we're getting ready to add another 220 households on it. So just want y'all to be aware. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And this is a public comments or citizen comment. Is there anybody else on my left? Is there anybody on my right like to come before the board? We do not have any public hearings tonight. We have the consent agenda, which is items 5 through 10. Do you have a motion to take that as a whole? Second, Ms. Flowers with the motion, second by Mr. McCord. All in favor of consent agenda items 5 through 10, please signal by raising your hand. 5-0. Moving into the regular agenda, consider minutes of the City of Griffin Board of Commissioners workshop and regular meeting on March 22. Mr. McCord was absent. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes? Motion.
So
Ms. Flowers with a motion. Do we have a second? Mrs. Ward with a second. All in favor, please signal by raising your hand. 401 with Mr. McCord abstaining. Moving into 12 is commissioners to appoint a city resident or business owner in the Griffin Spalding Business and Tourism Association Board of Directors as a voting member to fill the unexpired term of Robin Eisen, set to expire 12/31/22. Do we have any nominations from any of the board members? I've talked to Mr. Jason Chance, who is on other boards but always attends, and he's willing to serve. I'd like to nominate Jason Chance. Second. Do we have
Make
any
a
other
motion that we close nominations.
We have a motion for Mr. McCord to close nominations. Do we have a second?
Second.
Ms. Flowers to close nominations, a second. All in favor of closing nominations and appointing Jason Chance by acclamation, all signal by raise your hand. 5-0. Item 13 is consider a GDOT grant AP 02-9000-38-255 in the amount of $273,125.50 for the airport engineering design and a planning and/or planning assistance in order to complete FAA research requirements necessary to determine additional future funding for the new Griffin Spalding Airport. Airport Director Robert Mole is here to address if needed. So Mrs. Ward with a motion, second by Mr. McCord. All in favor, please signal by raising your hand. 5-0. Thank you, Mr. Moore.
Thank you.
Consider purchase of up to 13 2022 Ford Interceptor utility vehicles for $33,900 each, totaling $440,700 from Brandon Motor Company under state contract. Ms. Ward with a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. McCord with a second.
Question.
Got a question for Ms. Flowers?
It says, did I see up to 13? Then it says will order 13.
The supply chain problems have caused us to essentially have to guess to a certain degree what the cost is going to be because it's so far out.
Okay.
We have, I guess, a gentleman's agreement with Brandon Ford for this price, which is under state contract. So it says they deal with such a large volume of law enforcement vehicles, they can meet the state contract prices. But at the time we were trying to engineer the purchase, the known state contract price was not out yet. And there had been at least some anticipation that many of the law enforcement and probably some of the other vehicles that we purchased may have a estimated production time 12 to 18 months out. So we put up to 13 so we could have, if something changes, we could have at least some negotiating power or be able to figure out how to deal with the purchase. If we don't get in line on the front end, we won't get them at all.
Okay.
Any other questions? We have a motion, Ms. Ward, second by Mr. McCord. All in favor of the acquisition or purchase, please raise your hand. 5-0. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Item 15 is consider a contract with Steve Morris Single Source in the amount that did not exceed $33,600 to replace the windows and trim and paint those areas for the Welcome Center. We have a motion to approve the repairs. Mrs. Ward with a motion. Do we have a second? I'll make Ms. Flowers. Ms. Flowers.
No, you went first.
Okay. Holberg with a second. All in favor of the repair cost, please signal by raise your hand. 5-0. Item 16 is consider agreement between the City of Griffin and Data Voice International in the amount of $5,750 with a $2,500 annual fee for outage replay on backup server. Ms. Ward with motion, second by Mr. McCord. All in favor, please signal by raising your hand. 5-0. Item 17 is consider agreement between the City of Griffin and Data Voice International or ABL integration with Samsara in the amount of $17,250 with an additional $2,750 annual maintenance cost. Ms. Ward with motion. Second by Mr. McCord. Question by Ms. Flowers.
How long what's the life expectancy of this module? I see that there's a 27 annually.
Yeah, as long as we continue to use that product, so these are just sort of modules that we're adding onto the OMS.
Okay,
And the ADL is where we can integrate with Sincere to see our vehicles where they're on the road at all times.
okay.
So as long as we keep data voice, I mean, I would assume that this would just go along with it.
So they'll, any updates or any of that, because we purchased the module, they'll be responsible. Is that how that works?
That's what the maintenance fee is for. That annual maintenance fee covers them maintaining that module that they're adding to the server.
Okay,
Right.
okay.
We have a motion from Ward, second by McCord. All in favor of this agreement, please signal by raising your hand. 5-0. Item 18 is consider a task order form to the Master Service Agreement between the City of Griffin and Paragon Consulting Group in the amount of $24,000 to perform the bid and construction administration for the electric department building addition. Ms. Ward with a motion. Second by Mr. McCord. Any comments? All in favor, please signal by raising your hand. 5-0. Item 19 is consider expedited enforcement compliance order for the City of Griffin Water Pollution Control Plants, WPCPs, NPDES permit number Georgia 0020214 and Georgia 00307931 to the Georgia Environmental Protection Division in the amount of $11,000 for the watershed management. Do we have a motion to approve? Mr. Brock with a motion. Do we have a second?
Second, and what you say it's 7931.
I was getting ready to say the same thing.
I did what?
7931.
That is 307.
30791. That looks like it flipped around on me. Brock and Ward, all in favor, please signal by raising your hand. 5-0. Item 20, consider a contract with Water Enterprises LLC in the amount of $102,000 for consulting services for the watershed management, public works, and transportation. Ms. O'Connor, to address if there's any questions. We have a motion to approve.
Motion approved.
Mrs. Ward with a motion. Second by Mr. McCord. All in favor of the contract, please consider by raising your hand. 5-0. And item 21 is consider a resolution regarding the membership and support the I-75 Central Corridor Coalition.
Motion approved.
Ms. Ward with a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Flowers. All in favor, please signal by raising your hand. 5-0. So that's our agenda for tonight. Moving to the city manager report.
Okay, lots of items that y'all need to be aware of and dates to put on your calendar. So first, GMA District 4 listening session is next Monday, the 18th from 11:30 to 1:15. It's in Sonoy at the community center there. They're asking for reservations by today. So if anybody wants to go, please let me know. Have you already reserved? Or you need to
I think I've already reserved.
Okay.
But I'm speaking.
Tell me what the date is again, I just can't remember.
Next Monday, the 18th.
At 11:30.
11:30, lunch is served. It is a free event, but they just need to make sure they have enough food.
I'll say it'll be better if you put me down and I just don't show up.
Member Commissioner Flowers. Okay, the other thing from GMA is they have sent out the slate of officers for this year. The District 4 officers for the 22-23 year are nominated as the President, Betty Kaysen, the Mayor from Carrollton. First Vice President, William Dub Pierman from Sonoy. Second Vice President, Barbie Crockett from Central Hatchie. And third Vice President, Keith Pendergrass from Pine Mountain. Is there anyone that y'all want to add to this list of nominations? Are you okay with this?
I'm okay.
Okay. All right, and we can let them know that we can go ahead and vote on that when they send out that vote. Another date to put on your calendar, the Comprehensive Transportation Plan, the Joint City County Comprehensive Transportation Plan listening session is April 20th at 6 o'clock via Zoom. You should have all received invitations with that Zoom information in there. It is a Wednesday, but that seemed to be the only day that week that they had because we have a whole lot of stuff going on that week. Next would be your Irish City Classic Dinner. So that's our golf tournament. It's the first annual golf tournament. We'll be at Historic City Hall for dinner that Friday from 6 to 8:30. And the golf tournament is all weekend. The Reservoir Cleanup, as Mr. Hope mentioned, is that Saturday on April 23rd out at Heads Creek. And then that Sunday at the airport is our food truck fly-in, and that's what kicks off Georgia Cities Week. To round out Georgia Cities Week, we will have Dr. Keller's retirement party at Historic City Hall on Friday, the 29th from 2 to 4. And then that Saturday, we will have the Georgia Aviation Hall of Fame ceremony at Mr. Tolan's hangar. If we want to get a table, I need to know how many people would like to attend so we can reserve that by Friday. I know that is a lot of information, so I'll be happy to send that in an email or text, whatever may be easiest for all of you.
Put me down for the aviation, but not for branch thing. I mean, I didn't know it was in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, another reminder that we are closed this Friday. It is Good Friday, so city offices, those of us that are sort of administration, are closed. And also a big congratulations to Ms. Coggins. That's a huge accomplishment. I won't tell her how old I was when she started with the city. And then of course to our linemen as well. They are out there every day and that's very appreciated. And to Ms. Evans, to have a citizen decide to take on a task like that is not something I envy of her, but I'm very glad to see the Environmental Council recognize people that are willing to help us clean up, because we know it can't just be this community, it's got to be all of us, as Mayor said this earlier today, one Griffin. So I appreciate that from her as well, and I think that is it.
Mr. Whalen?
I have nothing further.
Mr. Brock?
It's not time, sir.
Yes. Ms. Flowers?
No comment.
Mrs. Ward? Mr. McCord?
I only have one thing. Well, three quick things. Our community did lose Mr. Willie T. Ison, also known as Pea Shooter. He was a basketball extraordinaire, amongst other things, a Fairmont High School graduate, Fort Valley State College graduate, and he had a real nice home going on yesterday. And also, former Griffinite NFL Hall of Famer Larry Rayfield Wright passed away. And I don't know if they invited us to do anything from the city or not. I haven't heard anything, but just want to acknowledge in our minutes that we did speak of these fine gentlemen from our community. And with that being said, I was also approached by a gentleman asking about the Oak Hill Cemetery, the old Oak Hill Cemetery, where the Black residents are buried, and we can't seem to find the records of them. So I don't know if we need to.
In Rest Haven?
Rest Haven, that's what I mean. I'm sorry, Rest Haven. Thank you.
We are aware of that problem. I'm not sure how you want to correct it. Mr. Whalen probably can speak better to that than I can, but I can't create documents that may or may not have existed without a lot of very intricate and possibly.
You gotta remember too, the courthouse burned.
Right.
We lost a bunch of those records.
Did we lose the other records, all the records, or we just lost?
Any burial records from before.
Back in the day, when people got a cemetery deed, like you get a deed to your house, you go down to the courthouse to record the deed to your house. People tended not to record cemetery deeds. So years ago, we got into the whole thing with Oak Hill Cemetery, the old section, in Rest Haven as well. We've got a lot of folks buried out there, and we're not real sure who they are. And I don't think that's changed at all in the last 25, 30 years.
Right.
So I don't know what we're gonna do. We can talk about it again if y'all want to. I just don't know how we're gonna solve that problem.
It was brought to me, and I said I would mention it in a meeting, and
It was brought to our office as well. I just honestly don't have a solution.
We have had people actually show up and say they wanted to bury a relative who had lived here in Griffin, who they claimed owned the cemetery lot. We have no record of that.
There's also an old cemetery on Gum Street where Miss Bragg's family
right.
has me, so there's some.
Just so for clarification, when we say, because I want to be able to report back accurately, when we say that the records burned in the courthouse, it was just those records that burned, or?
Well, just about everything in the courthouse that burned had been microfished. So we really didn't lose them there. A lot of this is when the city historically sold the cemetery lot, they made an entry in a ledger
Okay.
And a lot of these old ledgers have just, disappeared, rotted, whatnot. And some of the entries in there are illegible, they've gotten wet, things like that over the years. And this is a problem that I've dealt with ever since I became city attorney in 1982. And, the other part of this problem is in 67, I think it was, when they opened the new section of the cemetery as perpetual care, they offered perpetual care to the lot holders in the old section. You were supposed to turn in your cemetery deed and receive the burial certificate and pay down a sum for perpetual care. And the records on that are deplorable as well. So, Brant's basically treating everything like perpetual care, I think it's what.
We do now.
Yeah, it's a matter of practice. We just didn't have any other choice.
Anything else? All right, a couple of, we had an announcement today of an industry. Governor Brian Kemp today announced the sustainability-focused EcoPol, a European leader in the production of biodegradables PVA film, will invest more than $38 million and create 130 new jobs at the company's first North American facility in Spalding County. So I believe we got the power load on that. And so we have a new person moving forward. Someone that's announced for Griffin, Georgia. Just for your information, I was appointed the chairman of the Three Rivers Board at their last meeting. And final thing is happy Easter to everybody. Thank you all. Motion for Mr. McCord, motion for the second. Mrs. Flowers for the second. All in favor, please leave.